If you've been keeping an eye on the financial news, it's pretty hard to miss that kind of jittery feeling in the markets lately.
Yeah, definitely.
All this talk about President Trump's tariffs, it's injecting a real dose of uncertainty, isn't it?
It really is. You start wondering, okay, what's this going to do to company earnings, the whole economy?
Exactly. Makes you think. And, well, it can feel a bit unsettling, even if you've been investing for a while.
Oh, absolutely. It's a very common reaction when things feel unpredictable. Those questions about, how tariffs might squeeze profits, they're definitely front and center.
But here's the interesting thing, right? While all that uncertainty is happening,
Yeah.
it often throws up some surprising opportunities.
That's the flip side.
Yeah, it's like a bit of market chop can actually make you see the really strong players more clearly.
Right.
And for people thinking long term,
Uh-huh.
well, times like these can sometimes be a good moment to, pick up shares in fundamentally sound companies, maybe at better pieces.
Precisely. When the whole market gets dragged down a bit, even the really strong companies can see their valuations look, well, more attractive.
It's like a temporary sale sign for patient investors.
You could put it that way, yeah. For those not just focused on the next quarter, but the next few years.
And that right there is exactly what we're digging into today.
Mm.
We've been looking at some analysis from the Motley Fool,
Okay.
and they've highlighted two specific companies, both heavily involved in artificial intelligence, AI, that they believe could have, well, really significant long-term growth potential.
The kind of growth that could really matter down the line.
Yeah, the kind that could potentially, as they put it, help set you up for life. Big claim, but interesting.
And what's really notable now is, even though everyone's still excited about AI's long-term future, we have seen some AI stock valuations pull back a little recently.
Right, so it makes it maybe a better time to look closer.
It creates a potentially compelling moment, yes, to examine companies with really strong fundamentals in the space.
Okay, so our mission for this deep dive is pretty clear then. We want to unpack the main reasons the Motley Fool is flagging these two particular AI stocks as promising long-term bets.
Get to the core of their thinking.
Exactly. Draw out their analysis, see what makes them optimistic. Let's start with the company that's basically the poster child for AI right now, Nvidia.
Ah, NVIDIA. NVDA. Yeah, it's almost impossible to talk about AI advancements without mentioning them. They are just central to it all.
Absolutely. And the core of their business really is making these incredibly powerful graphics processing units, GPUs.
Right. The chips.
Yeah. But these aren't just for, playing video games. These are the super high performance chips that AI needs for all that heavy lifting, the training, the running complex models.
They provide the engine, the raw processing power that makes modern AI possible. They handle massive calculations simultaneously.
That's a good way to put it. Their GPU design is just really well suited for those huge AI workloads. Big advantage.
Huge advantage.
Yeah.
And the demand is just, it's intense.
The Motley Fool pointed out that customers are literally willing to wait in line, essentially, for the newest versions.
That tells you everything, doesn't it? When customers will wait, it means they see your product as superior, maybe essential.
Yeah, it really signals a strong competitive position, a kind of loyalty almost.
Definitely a strong moat, yeah.
And it's not just hype. They just launched their new Blackwell architecture, the new chip generation.
Mm-hmm.
And the numbers were, frankly, staggering. Something like $11 billion in revenue in its first quarter out.
Yeah, $11 billion. That's not just a successful launch. That's phenomenal speed and scale of adoption right out of the gate.
It just screams demand for the absolute cutting edge in AI power.
It really does, and NVIDIA provides it.
But what really jumped out at me is their pace of innovation. They've actually committed to releasing new GPU updates every year.
Annually, yeah. And they've laid out their roadmap publicly for the next couple of years, too.
That seems incredibly fast for hardware development.
It's very aggressive. And likely, that's a key part of their strategy, right? Keep pushing the performance boundaries so hard and fast that competitors just can't keep up.
Sets the pace for the whole industry, basically.
Pretty much. Forces everyone else to react to them.
And it's more than just the chips now, too, isn't it? The Fool mentioned they're offering a whole suite of AI products and services.
Exactly. They're building out an entire ecosystem. It's the hardware, yes, but also the software platforms, developer tools, cloud services.
Makes it easier for companies to actually use the GPUs for AI.
Right. More integrated solutions. It locks customers in, too, in a good way. Builds stronger relationships.
And then there's this other angle, really looking ahead. Quantum computing.
Yeah, the Boston Research Center.
Right, building a quantum research center.
Mm-hmm.
That tells you They're not just thinking about today's AI, they're looking at, well, the next generation of computing entirely.
It suggests a really long-term vision. They're investing in technologies that could be completely transformative down the road, could give them another massive edge if or when quantum matures.
Okay, so bring it back to today. We have this market uncertainty, the tariff talk.
Headwinds.
Yeah. But the Motley Fool seems to think that NVIDIA's deep involvement across AI, plus these future bets like quantum, positions them pretty well.
Well, yeah, they can probably navigate the short-term bumps because the long-term demand drivers for AI and potentially quantum are just so strong.
Their business isn't just tied to one thing.
Exactly. It's diversified across different parts of advanced computing. So even if tariffs cause some temporary issues, the overall foundation looks robust for the long term.
And the valuation. They mentioned it's trading around, what, 3 times forward earnings estimates?
Yeah, forward PE of about 23.
And the Fool frames that as potentially a good deal, considering the growth.
Well, yeah, for a company leading such a massive technological shift with their growth rates and expansion plans, 23 times future expected earnings, it could be seen as a reasonable entry point for long-term investors.
Suggests the market isn't maybe overly baking in all that future potential just yet.
Potentially, yeah. It doesn't seem excessively priced based on those estimates.
All right, interesting stuff on Nvidia. Let's pivot then. Second AI stock the Fool highlighted, Meta Platforms.
Meta. Okay, so obviously most people know them for Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp.
Right, Messenger too. The social media behemoth. Trillions of interactions, massive user base.
Absolutely staggering reach. Part of daily life for billions.
So it might actually surprise some people that Meta has been making this huge, very deliberate push into AI.
It might seem like a bit of a left turn at first.
Yeah, we're talking billions and billions invested over the last few years. They clearly see AI as, like, core to their future.
Well, when you think about the sheer volume of data they handle and how AI can improve everything from user experience to ad targeting, it starts to make a lot of sense strategically.
Okay, so how are they doing it? The Fool points to their development of their own large language model, or LLM. They call it Llama.
Right, Llama. So an LLM is basically a very sophisticated AI that can understand and generate text, kind of like the AI brain.
So they're building their own foundational AI capability in-house.
Exactly. Gives them control, lets them tailor it specifically for their needs across all their different apps and services.
And we're already seeing it pop up, right? Meta AI, their assistant.
Yep, Meta AI is powered by Llama. So it's not just theory, they're actively rolling out features based on it.
Like what kind of features?
Well, think about better content recommendations, smarter search within the apps, new ways maybe to create posts or interact, things that make the platforms more useful or engaging.
Okay, now here's the part I found really interesting. They chose to develop Llama using an open source model.
Yeah, that is a key differentiator.
Meaning they're essentially sharing the underlying tech with researchers, other companies. Why do that? Seems counterintuitive, no?
It does seem that way at first glance, but there are some big potential upsides for Meta. First, by opening it up, they tap into a global pool of talent.
Yeah. So others help improve it.
Exactly. Researchers, developers worldwide can contribute, find bugs, suggest improvements. It's like crowdsourcing the R&D in a way.
Okay, that makes sense. Any other benefits?
Well, yeah, it can also help establish Llama as a kind of industry standard. If lots of people are using and building on your model, it gives you a lot of influence and visibility in the whole AI world.
Right, fosters a community around their tech.
Mm-hmm.
Clever. But, okay, the big question. How do they make money from this? How does Llama translate to the bottom line?
Good question. The primary way, according to the Motley Fool, is by using AI tools like Meta AI to basically make Facebook, Instagram, etc. more addictive, more engaging.
Like people scrolling longer.
Keep people on the platform longer, yeah. More engagement, more time spent.
Means more chances to show ads.
Precisely. Advertising is still their bread and butter, their main revenue engine.
So the thinking is better AI features, more user time, more valuable ad space, more advertiser spending.
That's the core logic. Use AI to supercharge the existing advertising business model. Make the platforms stickier and more effective for advertisers.
Could be a pretty significant boost to their main income if it works well.
Potentially, yes. And the Fool also suggests that longer term, these AI investments could lead to totally new products or services too. beyond just enhancing the current apps.
Right, building these powerful AI foundations could open up doors they haven't even thought of yet.
Definitely. The core AI capabilities could be applied in all sorts of ways down the line, new revenue streams maybe.
Okay, and valuation here. Similar to Nvidia, they flagged the price, trading around 21 times forward earnings.
Yep, forward PE around 21. And the Fool described that as potentially a fantastically low price.
Strong words. Why so low, potentially?
Well, considering that massive user base, the strategic AI investments with Llama, and the potential to really juice their ad revenue through AI, a forward PE of 21 could look pretty compelling if you believe in that long-term AI story for them. Suggests the market might not be fully pricing in that AI upside yet.
Interesting. So wrapping this up, it sounds like the Motley Fool sees both Nvidia and Meta as, well, really strongly positioned.
Exceptionally well positioned, yeah, according to their analysis, to really ride this huge wave of AI development.
Potential for significant long-term returns, even with the current market jitters.
That seems to be the core message. NVIDIA with its essential hardware leadership and future tech bets.
And Meta integrating its own powerful open-source AI into that enormous user base and ad machine.
Right. Two different angles on capitalizing on the AI boom.
And again, crucial for listeners to remember. This analysis is focused on the long term.
Absolutely key. Investing in transformative tech like AI often requires patience, looking beyond the day-to-day noise.
You need that wider perspective to let the potential really play out.
Couldn't agree more. Focus on those fundamental trends.
Okay, so as everyone digests all that, here's maybe one last thing to chew on. Given how incredibly fast AI is moving,
Unbelievably fast.
what other big established companies out there, maybe ones you don't immediately think of as AI companies, might actually surprise us, the next few years with their own clever ways of using this tech?
That's a great question. Who else might be quietly building something transformative with AI under the hood?
Definitely something interesting to keep an eye on. Thanks for taking this deep dive with us today.